Now, one of the sketches we just saw had a December 1995 date, and we know that he's actually going to debut the Monday after WrestleMania 12. So that would have been April of 96. Let's talk a little bit about, what happens in that little gap right there. I mean, are you guys trying to figure out, hey, what is the right story and how do we introduce him? Or did you know right away we're putting him with the Undertaker?
We first of all, we just wanted to introduce the character.
Right.
And how do you introduce the character to the masses and make them care and anticipate the arrival of Mankind? I think all of us pretty much agreed that his first logical opponent would be the Undertaker. Big guy, monster, and that people would accept that pretty readily. But more than anything, we want to get the character over. So you get the character over by doing vignettes with him that air week after week after week, and you get a little bit into the psyche that is Mankind.
So when we're talking about him working with the Undertaker, I know at this point, boy, the Undertaker has had to work through some pretty stinky creative. I mean, he was with lots of less than awesome opponents. Now he's got a guy who's willing to push the pace and the limits of what's possible. I mean, this had to be exciting for the real life Undertaker to see, wait, I'm working with that guy who did that crazy shit over in Japan and in WCW. Yeah, give me Cactus Jack.
Well, it's funny. He didn't want to do any of that shit with him.
Right.
He really wasn't sure, what Cactus brought to the table until he got in the ring with him. But I will say this: after the first time that Cactus jumped Taker and they had their brawl, Taker came back and go, "We're going to have fun."
That's awesome.
Because he just felt that chemistry.
What did you and well, I guess Vince think of his deathmatch stuff in Japan? We sort of glossed over that, but I mean, there's been rumor and innuendo that hey, Vince was going to do something with FMW and Onita, and we're going to have some exploding stuff and blah blah blah. We know it never happened
because it was never considered.
Okay.
Onita will tell you. It's kind of like when you hear things, and this was something else came up. It's like when you hear things about Jerry Jarrett and shit. They brought me in to run the office. All these things never happened. Never happened. Did Onita come in to meet with us about doing business back and forth? Yes, he did. Were we ever sitting there going, God, what if we had a bomb match? No, because they're the stupidest, silliest, shittiest things that pretty much most of it, anybody with half a brain has ever seen and gone, yeah, that sucked.
We got to talk about these Mankind vignettes. I know we've had a lot of fun talking about George the Rat and all that silliness.
Hey, George was the star of these.
Talk to me about how these were done. I mean, do you remember being the producer on these?
You know what, man? Cornette produced a lot of these. And yes, I was there, and they were absolutely fabulous. But it was Mick in a dungeon. Mick in a dungeon with his only friend in the whole wide world, which was George the Rat, who had extraordinarily large testicles for a rat. And that was Mick's friend. That was who Mick identified with, was the one breathing soul that cared about Mankind. Now, Mick would ask you that question, man, did he care about Mankind? Because every once in a while I feed him a cracker. Every once in a while, if what I've got in here is a little too tough and I just can't chew it anymore, I give it to George. He doesn't complain. He likes it. He teaches me that maybe sometimes, Mankind, it's okay. You just got to be a little more patient and chew it. You'll get it down. It's sustenance. It's good for you. And that's what helps Mankind get through the day. Is my good, close, personal friend, George. He's a rat. It gave you an insight into the soul of Mankind. and you felt for him because his only friend in the whole world was a rat in this room. And by God, when he escapes that room, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to try to be his friend, but more than likely won't understand him and will end up being his enemy. So, yeah, I think those vignettes did a really good job of telling you about the internal battles that mankind was facing every day. And they're no different than the battles that people every day face. God, I got to go to work today. Is my boss going to be an asshole? Should I be an asshole back? Or should I just suck it up and do my job? God, I had to wait 20 minutes to get gas. It's a long line, but I saved 4 cents. Woohoo. I mean, you ever do that, Conrad? Sorry, off topic, but on topic. Is where you look and you go, hey, this gas is only up here 8.36 a gallon. But look, the one across the street is 8.37.
No, I've never
8.36.
I've never priced gas. No.
A lot of people do.
No. I mean, it's a
No, I say that's what I mean. A lot of people do. I'm not
constant conversation. I mean, I hear it all the time, but I hear it from guys who drive $150,000 pickup truck, and I'm like, really, bro? What are we talking about?
That's my point too. And it's like my kids will drive 20 minutes to go save 2 cents a gallon on gas.
Silly.
I'm like,
You blew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those kind of lessons that you could get from mankind in a dungeon with a rat.
I just want to give some context to where we are too. You know, he's debuting the Monday after WrestleMania 12. This is the same era where Razor Ramon and Diesel are packing up to head down to Atlanta. So there is a bit of a shuffle. You know, you've got Steve Austin coming in, WCW, then ECW, and now here he is as the ringmaster. We've also got Mick Foley coming in. He was Cactus Jack in WCW and ECW. Now he's going to be Mankind. This is an interesting time for the company, is it not? I mean, the spring of 96, there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, the summer of change.
Yeah.
And it really is. It's just, it's the evolution and things are changing and everything's changing around you. And a lot of new and a lot of different. So if there was ever a ideal time to bring in a character like Mankind, this was it. Because there was a lot of new and a lot of different all around.